You want to know something? If you're watching this video, you're probably part of a super secret debt payoff club. And the reason I say that is because YouTube nowadays is very bad at distributing videos for whatever reason. I hear it's because of AI or shorts, but it doesn't matter. The less people that watch this, the more part of a super secret club that you're in. And I've been posting videos, and very few of them get over 100 nowadays. The last one that I got over 100 was about using a line of credit and a credit card together. Maybe we got to do another video like that, but you kind of see here, pretty much all of them under 100 views. And if I sort my by view count, you could see that I've had videos in the thousands. So this is 38,000, 30,000 views, 8,000, 6,000, and when the YouTube algorithm used to kind of semi distribute my content, people love watching it, but everybody's views down, right? Even Mr. Beast's views are down 50%. Is YouTube dying? Your impressions and views are down. Mine too. Mine too. Why? The real reason views are down. Why your views are down in 2026. So I think everybody is experiencing this problem. So it's very hard for a lot of people to find the content nowadays for whatever reason, or who knows, maybe just people just give up and they don't want to pay off debt anymore. Seems like nowadays there's just a lot of desperate people, and they'll do whatever they can to, to scam people, which is unfortunate. But that's where we are as a society today. But anyways, since you're all part of this super secret club, let's go ahead and pay off debt like we always do, over and over again, right? And I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So I'm not gonna do the average doctor. I'll just do average American banking for today. Average American. And if you want to see how I pay off debt or how I set up the debt payoff scenarios, usually, depending on their income, I just take away like a couple of credit cards. So in this case, it'll be three. I'll just do three credit cards. Actually, you know what I should do? I should just make a copy of this. Copy, paste. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this and just delete a few credit cards and then make the student loan a little bit smaller. So like, 40K. And then if there's a mortgage, then we'll just make this like, 235. And then personal expenses tied to debt, that'll just be like maybe, I don't know, 1800. All right, and then let's go ahead and do this, copy and paste, right? And then do this. And then, I always kind of work backwards, right? So let me just kind of, ooh, $7,000 of expenses. Oh, that's because I didn't redo these. I was like, why is it so expensive? All right, so let me just go here. And then, so now you kind of see the behind the scenes prep work that I do, but it's not that much. 40000 235 000. And then these are now the payments. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And voila, I set up a debt payoff scenario. Okay. All right. So now, wait, whoopsie, I screwed up. Should be, wait a minute. Yeah, it should be right here. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to pay off debt using something called the velocity debt payoff method. So imagine that your take home pay is about $5,000 a month and your expenses is $4,704.17. And you have about $295 left over in your checking and savings because you have three credit cards, an auto loan, student loan, mortgage. You got six debts you got to worry about. And then on top of that, you got $1,800 in personal expenses that you have to take care of. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume we have the same income and the same expenses. Whoopsie, same expenses. Now, how can we make it so that if we have the same income and the same expenses, that we increase what we could consider to be leftover money, which is our cash flow, right? So we're going to do this, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do this and focus on this cash flow number. And the next step that we have to do is rank our debts because we're going to pay off our debts in a certain order to maximize our cash flow. And we're going to use something called the cash flow index. If you don't know what the cash flow index is, it's basically the debt amount divided by the monthly payment. It gives you this formula, right? And let me just kind of do this here. All right. So it gives you this formula, right? And so what does this formula mean? Well, basically it means that the lower the number, the more bang for you for your buck you get for paying off the debt, right? And so this is what we're going to pay off first, and we're going to pay off the highest ones last, right? So what does this high number mean? It means that I got to give a lot of money for itty bitty amount of cash flow when it's paid off. So I don't want to pay off my mortgage first because the mortgage means I have to give someone $235,000 for about $1,100 of cash flow. Whereas with the credit cards, I can get almost, if I pay off just these credit cards, I get almost the amount of the mortgage in terms of my cash flow, which is why I'm going to pay off my credit cards first. Okay. So let's go ahead and assume that we have, I don't know, we'll say $50,000 line of credit. Now you might say, what's a line of credit? Well, it's basically a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. Now, if you only have $300 left over, quick, quick question: will the bank lend you a free and clear line of credit? The answer to that is no, because banks don't lend money to people who need it, right? Banks don't lend money to people who need it. You see, according to the bank, people who need money are very, very bad people. They're very, very bad people. Okay, and the reason why they consider to be bad people is because they don't pay you back. And that's why banks don't lend money to people who need it. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, we're just going to assume that, hey, we have a free and clear line of credit. It makes the demonstration easy. You could clearly see the benefit of the strategy. But in real life, I'll tell you what, most people don't have free and clear lines of credit. They have maxed out lines of credit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move some debt into the line of credit. So how much are we moving? It's 5, 8, 15. And then I'm going to go ahead and sum it up. So what am I summing up? It's 28,000. So this we're just going to move this $28,000 into a line of credit, and guess what happens to the payments here? Oh my goodness, they go to they we literally went from $295 to $1,200 of cash flow. And then what's the final step? We put our entire paycheck into the line of credit, take our expenses out, and then rinse and repeat over and over again, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to just do this, I2 plus 1. And then what we're going to do is take the previous month's balance, previous month's interest, minus the cash flow, 1218.33. And then we're going to take the average daily balance. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, multiply it by the interest rate, so 0.08 divided by 12. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then after a certain amount of time, let me just see. Yeah, month 19. No, not month 19. I was hoping it'd be month 19, but it's going to be month 25. That credit card debt is paid off. Whoop-de-doo. Okay? So now at 25 months, um, that's 28K. And we'll go ahead and copy and paste. And then now we have three more loans. And then now I'm going to go back to here, which is my loan calculator, and all I got to do is put the current month, 25, 25, 25. And then this is going to be 13 grand, right? Now we move the 13 grand into the, I'm at the wrong sheet, into the line of credit. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And then you might be wondering why I do this so fast. It's because I just follow Bruce Lee's advice. I just do the same thing over and over again. And then I get really good. So this is going to be 0 because we moved the car loan. And now we have that in extra cash flow. And I'm just going to go ahead and now do this. So that'll be minus 1613.64, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. And then we see that in month 34, okay, this is all paid off. So good. All right, whoop-de-doo. So 34 months, it's all paid off, and then that's going to be right here. So 34 months, and that's going to be 28 plus 22. So that's going to be 50K, I believe. And then I'm going to do this. So 50K. Okay. And then now we have the student loan and the mortgage, right? So student loan and the mortgage. And then now we got to just pay this off. And then so we're at month 34. So I'm just going to do this 34, 34. So this is the loan calculator. You just put the current months, tells you the current balance, and then we'll just pay off the student loan here, move it into the line of credit, and then, see, not this one. I'm going to go right here. And then this is going to be plus 3137.04. And then, okay, and then this is going to be 0, and this is going to be $2,000 of cash flow. All right, and I'm going to, all right, so update the cash flow. And I'm just going to do this. And then I'm just going to do this. So 2078.07. And now I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. And then we see that in month 50, student loan paid off. And again, you might be wondering, like, how do I do this so fast? It's because I follow Bruce Lee's advice that I don't fear the man who does one kick. No, I don't fear the man who does one kick 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who does one kick 10,000 times. So 50K plus 40. So that's going to be 90K paid off. Okay. And then now what we do is we pay off the 30-year mortgage. Okay. So let me just kind of go here and see at month 50 what the balance of the 30-year mortgage is, and then we see it's 216. We should have paid a significant amount of interest, and we see we've paid 37 grand of interest so far. And what we're going to do is we can do one of two things, right? We can do extra payments, or we can sweep the mortgage, do little sweeps. So here's how I think of extra payments, right? It's like starting a gym membership in New Year's, okay? So the pro of it is that you're using zero interest money. The con is that it's the default option that nobody does. So what we're going to do, okay, is we can do extra payments. That's not a problem if you can do it, right? Most people can't do it because directly overpaying either a loan or a line of credit introduces friction in how your money moves between your bank accounts, right? So that's why you don't necessarily do it, although you could. Another way we can do it is just kind of moving the piece of the loan into the line of credit. So for example, let's just move $5,000 of the loan. So I'm just going to do plus 5000 into the line of credit, and then you see that every 2 or 3 months or so, just bam, that gets paid off, doesn't it? Bam, bam, bam. All right. Wait, what? Huh? Yeah. So, all right. Okay. And then so now, how do we kind of estimate the debt payoff? Well, if we want an accurate one, well, I got this band calculator right here, and let me just kind of put in the details right there, and then income, expenses. And so now this is going to be $1,800 of expenses. So 1800, and then the income is, what's the income? It's $5,000, right? Okay, $5,000, and then we'll just do a $5,000 sweep. Well, not 500, 5,000. Okay, and then so the original balance. What's the original balance? It is what is the original balance? It's right here. Yeah, 235,000. So 235,000. Current balance is, what is the current balance? It is month 50. So I'm going to go here. 216,611.07. And then the payment amount is 1121.93. So 1121.93. Okay, and then yeah, 6.6 years. Look at that. Debt free in 6.6 years. It's not bad. We actually did pay off our mortgage under 7 years. So let's go ahead and go here. 0, and then it's going to be 6.6 plus 50. 6.6 times 12. So 130. No, yeah, 130 months. So 130 divided. Actually, let me do this. Why did I do it this way? So 6.6 times 50 divided by 12. That's 10.7. 7 years until we're debt free. All right, so not a big deal. We always pay off debt relatively quickly. I think I have over 700 videos on YouTube, and I don't know what keeps me going. I really don't, because it's just like, oh, I mastered it. Do I need to make any more videos? If people would search for it, then they'll come to this channel, or maybe not, because everybody's views are down. But don't worry, I'm kind of a glass half full type person, right? So if I'm a glass half full type person and views are down, it means that you're part of a super secret club because more people aren't finding this content. So if you watch to the end of this video below, just type in super secret club. Okay, super secret debt payoff club, because you are a part of it. All right, well, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.